So they remove all the things out of the house to create a room for Tobiah to stay in the house of the Lord. Can you imagine the enemy living right inside the house? Created space by Eliashib, your chief elder. And this was the man who rose up to build the sheep gate. Are you listening? And that's why it is very, very important that the people in your leadership close the gap. They will not allow the enemy entrance into the house at all. That's why it is dangerous when people in authority create space, you legalize the enemy. You legalize the operation of satanic forces within your own house. Then there is true authority that will hit into the house. True authority. One authority is you. The other authority is this man who created space for Tobiah. So you have demonic authority in the house, coming through legalized authority, and then you have the set authority by the set man. So everything inside the house will be jammed. Are you listening? The devil's attack is so pronounced, all the provisions in the house will shut down. And the operation of all the Levites is gone. Because Levites had no tithe, no food. Who's going to sustain them? So they all had to go to their own fields to work. So instead of working in the house, they had to go out and work. So all the volunteer workers and the people who are supposed to labor in the house is no longer there. So we are going to lose manpower because the provision is not there. We're going to lose good people who want to serve God. And they become hurt. They become frustrated. They begin to become attacked. Because once you legalize demonic authority through leadership that are set in place, then not only provision is shut, tithe offerings, money, income in your church, all that becomes sabotage. Good people who want to serve God start to withdraw. If you're in an environment like that, it's basically because somebody in your leadership is opening up space for the devil to legalize his authority in their house. That's why provisions will shut down. Hey, take what I say seriously. That's why your finances will shut down. The people who are sincere, want to serve God, these are the ones withdrawing from the world. Because the enemy has taken his seat in the house and his large space is for him. Can you identify this? Talk to me. Can you identify? I want you to be on guard, because if God has given me this instruction to give to you this special, just this complete diversion of these things, just to let you know how the enemy operates so that you are vigilant. We are going to battlefield. We're going to build strong works. We're going to build strong churches. We're going to connect our people in the network well. Everybody in your leadership are intact. So if we're going to do that, then we're going to take this word as seriously as national transformation. Because national transformation cannot take place unless you can identify the enemy and begin to shut down in the house. And you can protect your own household, protect your own life. Are you listening? That's why it's very, very, very important for you to understand that. Your funds and your finances can be shut down. Your provision in the house can be shut down. Money issues will become a real major issue inside the church. Because somebody in authority is legalizing demonic operation somewhere in the house. It is taking place. Somebody is creating a large room, space for the devil to operate in there. And when that happens, funds and finances and provision and good men will start to withdraw from becoming involved in the world. Each one was going out because they had no money, no sustenance, no storehouse, no food. Are you listening? Yes. Talk to me. Is that important? Yes. All right. Write down. Number 7, the enemy will prolong his attacks. The enemy will prolong his attacks. If you do not rise up, to secure a new covenant with God, if you do not rise up to secure a new covenant with God, if you do not rise up to secure a new covenant with God, he will continue to prolong his attacks. Are you listening? Now, the enemy knows the only way is for you to secure something fresh from heaven. He has to stop. Are you listening? You want the enemy to stop operation in your house? The only way is to bring God in. Secure a new contract, get God on your side. As you enter in, the old things will cease. What has been continuing in your church will stop. You get a fresh word, the 12 years of issue of blood will cut off. You bring in the fresh presence of Jesus in the pool of Bethesda, 38 years of wandering around will stop. Nehemiah said in chapter 9, and I close with this. Nehemiah said in chapter 9, in verse 35, but they in their own kingdom, with your great goodness which you gave to them, with the broad and rich land which you set before them, did not serve you or turn from their evil deeds. Behold, we are slaves today, because of what our fathers did. Are you listening? As to the land which you gave to our fathers to eat of its fruit and its bounty, behold, we are slaves in it. Even though it was given to us as an inheritance, we are slaves. Because of what our fathers did. Its abundant produce, in verse 37, is for the kings. You know, it produces such a bountiful thing that kings can be sustained. Yeah? We are in great distress. Are you listening? They rule over our bodies, our cattle. They rule over our cattle as they please. Are you listening? All this because of our sins. But he says, because of all this, we are making a fresh new agreement in writing. And on a sealed document are the names of all our leaders, our Levites, our priests. We want to secure a fresh covenant with you. We don't think this contract is fair. They said, we don't think that this deal is creating justice. We want to serve you. We want to restore your temple. We want to build the walls, but what is upon us is the consequences of our fathers. Yet we are in a transition generation. We want to break free. Our heart is to serve you. Our heart is to honor you. Are you listening? Our heart is to honor you. Our heart is to serve you. We are here sold out to build your walls. We have given our whole lives to build the temple. But yet the consequences of what our fathers have done is continually stumbling us. So at some point, we want this to be cut off so that we are free to do what we want to do for you. So now we are writing all our names down to make this count. We are putting it down in a sealed document. These are all the names. We make a fresh contract with you. We make a fresh covenant with you. Start with us. Because we are different. We want to be this generation that will cut free from the consequences of the old generation. We want to start afresh with you. And the moment you secure a fresh contract, the enemy's work on your life is gone.